Hello everybody and welcome back to Right Eagle Politics. Make sure you guys like this video down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. So, Indiana, we got some bad news today and we got some good news today. So we're going to talk about the bad news first and then we're going to talk about the good news. And the bad news is Indiana is not moving when it comes down to redistricting. And this is something that is not good because Republicans could have netted 1 seat, 2 seats. And it seems like this whole redistricting war is going to be not entirely what we thought because so many Republicans are unwilling to have a backbone and stand up. It's like California, Illinois, New York, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Oregon, Maryland, the list goes on, where you have these Democrats that are willing to go to any length they can draw out every Republican that they possibly can. But in a state where Republicans have good geography, it's like an R+20 state, you could have every seat being at least like R+14 and leave the Democrats with nothing. No, they can't move. They'll die on the hills of principles, which again, if you can't win, what's the point of having these principles? It seems like their principles are only to lose, and I think that's a problem. And Republicans in Texas, they fought back. Good for them. California then decided to go even further than their initial map. And it seems like states like Virginia want to do the same. Illinois might even try to draw out another Republican seat, which is even more ridiculous. And one thing we know is that North Carolina's first congressional district, they, decided to make that redder. So again, that's another seat. Jared Golden's retiring up in Maine, which is also good. That's another seat. So it's not all doom and gloom. And then we get to the positive news. You have the Supreme Court. They are going to have to rule on the Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act, which could, at least at a minimum, it seems like 6 Democrats on net will be able to be drawn out. So you have a net gain of 12, which is huge. And it's, again, a law that only goes one way. It makes you draw districts based on the way people look instead of based on geographic distribution, etc. It's not fair, needs to go. And then Florida. And this is the good news because Ron DeSantis, he is doing everything that he can do to kind of go on his lion Ted arc. Remember 2016, you had Ted Cruz go up against Trump in the primary. They initially were kind of like friendly and then it turned south. And you see a similar thing with Ron DeSantis and Trump. And while I don't think DeSantis is going to be a national candidate that's solid, just like I don't think Ted Cruz will ever be a national candidate that's solid, doesn't necessarily mean that they can't do good things. And it seems like Ron DeSantis is on his lion, Ted, and lion is like the animal lion, Lion. He's Lion Ron right now because redistricting is coming in Florida, which has zoomed to the right under his leadership and during the Trump era. And it seems like the map that already is a solid map might get even redder. And if Section 2 of the VRA goes, that's going to make sure that this map can stand in place as 25R 3D, which would be more than enough to cancel out Newsom's power grab in California. And on top of that, you're talking about drawing out 5 Democrats, some of the most insufferable Democrats like Debbie Wasserman Schultz and Maxwell Frost get to go. They would leave 3 seats blue, and that would be huge if that was able to happen. It absolutely can happen. It would be huge, especially the way the state is moving. You could claim it's a mandate to redraw, and that seems like what DeSantis is doing. So we're going to dive into this. We're going to go over the maps and see how would this pad the floor? What's the Republicans' real floor in the House after all of this is done? The good, the bad, the ugly, the positives that could come like the Supreme Court. But first, I got to tell you guys about my friends over at Chalk. Men's testosterone levels decline 1% a year after the age of 30. And what's even worse is that men's testosterone levels on average are half of what they were 50 years ago. Testosterone is more than just your manhood. It's critical for mental clarity, mood, sleep, and overall vitality. And the patriots at Chalk.com, CHOQ.com, have formulated a blend of natural herbal supplements that support your body's natural tea production. Just one ingredient in their male vitality stack has boosted free testosterone levels more than 50% in 21 days. And right now you can get 25% off your Choq subscription, not for a month, not for a year, but for life. So just go to choq.com, CHOQ.com, and use the promo code REDEAGLE. And it's 25% off any subscription for life, and you can cancel it at any time. And as a Black Friday special, all new subscription orders using my code get a completely free $100 bag of Choq's organic, energizing, hot chocolate powder packed automatically with your first delivery. It's made in America, and their all-American customer service team is standing by to assist you. So that's choq.com, CHOQ.com, promo code REDEAGLE, or you can text or call them at 50-CHOQ-3000. All right, guys, so this is the consensus map. So Utah, we did a video on Utah, which was the most ridiculous of all, but I think there is a chance that Utah can challenge the decision and possibly draw the map that I proposed, where you have two light red districts in Salt Lake City that also happen to be these, districts that are much redder down ballot. So even if, let's say, at the top of the ticket, Trump would narrowly lose them, the Republicans would win them by 10 because Utah is weird. You have a lot of like neoconservative Mitt Romney types that still vote red down ballot in the Salt Lake City area. Many of them are Mormon, that we know. Utah is a bit of a weird state. It was the most red state in the country in 2012. It's still like R plus 20, but it's not exactly what it used to be, and Democrats infiltrate the Republican primaries there, and they don't have a primary themselves, so there's so many registered Republicans that aren't even Republican, and that's precisely why they almost, I wouldn't say almost, but they got within striking distance of Mike Lee in the primary, despite him being an incumbent, and the other challenger that got 30% of the vote voted for Biden in 2020. It was a big disaster, but regardless, I do think it's important that we go and analyze the way the map is going. So Republicans, they already have them at 210 as their floor. I think that that's fair given Texas, this Henry Cuellar seat, legal trouble and all. He's still in there. He's still hanging on in terms of making it somewhat competitive because he's a better fit. And it's true, I don't think Hispanics that voted for Trump are leaving the GOP. That's a myth, especially because every point of evidence we have shows that it's the economy that's driving Hispanic disapproval of Trump more so than the deportations. If he actually ramps up the deportations, the economy improves. You do better with Hispanics overall, but a lot of it is just propensity, and a lot of Trump voting first-time Hispanics didn't vote in the Virginia or New Jersey elections, and so many people, all the worst people like Maria Salazar, she's saying, oh no, we need to push for amnesty. This isn't working. And it's ridiculous. The whole thing is a mess. It's a psyop, and that we know. But I wanted to go to Florida because already you're at 210. And if you add 5 seats, we'll cover these as likely seats. So I believe it would be the 14th. I think, let me see which ones they have going. Actually, the 9th would stay in place, but they would rework the 10th. So they probably would move up the 9th and redraw the 10th. Also, the 20th and the 24th will stay in place, but that means the 23rd. And honestly, Moskowitz might be the one they keep just because he's more moderate. Lois Frankel's seat would go. Debbie Wasserman Schultz, that seat would go. They'd leave Wilson, who's obnoxious, but they'd leave her there because that's a very blue area. So you're at 215. Now, Democrats do seem like they are going to go out there and possibly try to do Virginia. I don't know if it's going to work out for them, but let's just say they do. And let's say they end up getting 1, 2, 3. Let's say they leave 2 Republican seats or whatever in the state to avoid a possible dummy-mander, 213. If they decide to go scorched earth, well, that'd be 212. So out of the gate, you're not in a bad position overall. If the economy improves slightly, you need to win, of the toss-up seats, you need to win 6 out of 18. So you would still, assuming that there isn't a massive national environment shift, Republicans are not in a horrible place, all things considered. They're really not. Now, it is true that the bottom could fall out. You don't know what's going to happen, but it's not all doom and gloom, all things considered. And if the Section 2 goes, and it seems like the Supreme Court may be playing politics ahead of the midterms too, which is also a good sign for this because, you know, they did reject the, I guess they didn't grant the writ of certiorari for the case revolving gay marriage, maybe because they think it would energize Democrats. Maybe they'll take up a case like that in the future, but not now. That means maybe the conservatives on the court are playing for keeps politically, which you could say they're not supposed to do that, but they do it. The liberal judges do it too. So if it goes both ways, it goes both ways. Same thing with a redistricting. Now, Louisiana, that seat would go. Mississippi probably redraws. Alabama, you at least get to take out one. You might even get to take out two Dems there. Honestly, if you're in Tennessee, this one is tough because you could say you could draw a blue seat in Nashville, which would make the map look more aesthetic, but then gut the one in Memphis, because it is true you don't want to draw some dummy mander that is all over the place in Tennessee. It would kind of, I guess, be analogous to the Massachusetts map, except Democrats have more favorable geography in Tennessee than Republicans do in Massachusetts. But Georgia, that Sanford Bishop seat would go. Jim Clyburn, his influence is gone if you look at that. And, you know, Democrats might try to, like, reverse engineer this by drawing out a seat in, like, Illinois or something of that nature, which would leave two Republican seats. But the end game would be 217 to 200. Hey, Republicans only need one seat at that point in order to cross that finish line. You have a Trump plus 8 seat in Iowa, a Trump plus 8 seat in Wisconsin, a Trump plus a decent seat in New Jersey. That's much rather down ballot Tom Keene's district there. There's plenty of opportunities and Trump-heavy seats for Republicans to win 1 out of 18, but that's what it would come down to. So again, the redistricting war, if Florida has the courage, if the Supreme Court has the courage, Republicans are in a good position. Regardless, I hear a lot of doom and gloom about the midterms, but here's the deal. Even if that doesn't happen, Republicans are not going to be in a massive deficit in the House. They're still very likely going to hold the Senate with 51, if not 52 Senate seats. And the governorships, it's not like you're going to have a net wave, even though it would be a missed opportunity if they don't pick up a seat like Arizona or Michigan that they possibly could get, because I think they're getting Kansas, so they'd be trading Kansas for Virginia. I don't think that Republicans are going to lose Georgia or Nevada. It's probably more likely they lose a state like Ohio or Alaska at that level, and I don't think they're losing either of those. But, statewide Alaska is pretty weird. I do think that Vivek is an interesting candidate when it comes down to some of his baggage, but the Democrats are not going to outflank him on immigration effectively. But regardless, what we know is that 2026, it's not going to be some massive blue wave, even if Democrats have a good national environment. Donald Trump is taking efforts now when it comes down to, making sure that the economic messaging is improved, trying to lower prices, things like that. So we'll see what happens, guys. Regardless, this is not like a historically good midterm for Dems, even if they overperform by as much as they did in New Jersey and Virginia, which I honestly don't see happening in a full-scale national election in the 250th anniversary of the U.S., where Donald Trump is going to be able to claim that symbolic mantle with the RNC that he's probably going to do, as well as the celebration for America's birthday. Let all the Democrats go out there, say all these anti-American things, bait them, have them put up these Zorons in swing districts. Please do it. I would love to see that happen. It would make it a lot easier. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. Like this video down below, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications so you never miss another video. Follow me on social media. The links are all in the description down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Red Eagle, out.